Tech Tuesday here on Fox 17 News at 6. Joining us once again, Cochran of Imperial Computer Solutions. Tonight we are talking about data recovery. There is no worse sinking feeling than realizing that all your photos, all your music, all your videos may be gone.
May be gone. Yeah, so a lot of things happen with these. You have an old desktop that you haven't used in years because it doesn't work, and you realize there's some kids' photos that you have on there.
Right.
Or your laptop goes bad, seizes up, and what do you do? So we thought we'd bring a few tips to the table as far as on what you can do at home to try to recover some of this data.
A lot of times you'll have something, say like an external hard drive, that you have been using for a backup, and all of a sudden your computer won't recognize it.
Won't recognize it. So the first thing you can do if it won't recognize is there's a software called Ubuntu, and essentially it's a free download. You boot it into a computer that is working, and what it'll do is it doesn't use Windows file systems to pick things up. So it's able to read and recognize a hard drive when a normal computer, a Mac or PC base wouldn't be able to recognize it. Second thing you can do is if it's clicking, let's say it's you can hear it that it's just it's not spinning up anymore. There's kind of two things you can start with. One is to pull the drive out, grab yourself a cable like this. They're about 20 bucks, plug them in, plug it into a computer that's working with a USB drive, and a lot of times that'll bypass that option as well.
But there are ways for people to do kind of an elementary examination of their box. Some Dells are sealed, but a lot of the other computers, you can actually take the case off, pull the hard drive out. Very
simply, yeah. I mean, honestly, there's two screws in the back, pull the side off. There's two screws that hold the hard drive in, pull that out, grab one of these cables, plug it in, see if you get any luck on
check the connections.
Computer. Exactly.
What if it's not the connections? What if you think you have like a mechanical problem with the hard drive?
So a mechanical problem with the hard drive, if you hear it clicking or you hear a little ticking noise in there going on, the first thing you can try to do is an old school tool or a trick that we've done for years is throw it in a Ziploc baggie, put it in the freezer overnight. What that does is it condenses a lot of the small parts. Right. Little arm in there that's hanging down on the platter, something along those lines, and try plugging in right away while it's very, very cold. And then once it's very, very cold and condensed, a lot of times it'll spark it back up again, and magically your hard drive will come to life.
It's important to make sure that you do put it in that plastic bag before you put it in your freezer, because you could introduce it to some humidity issues and whatnot. But you know, when you think about the standard temperature on some of these, especially the external drives, these things get red hot.
Extremely hot. Yeah, they get extremely hot and they expand, and essentially you have so many moving parts in there. It's just it's gonna, a lot of them, they're gonna go bad. So obviously the best thing you can do is back up your data. But for the most part, there's a couple tools you can do. There's some software recovery things that are out there. They're anywhere from 50 to 125 bucks.
And the moral of the story, if you can't get it done yourself, you can bring it to a store like Imperial Computer Solutions, and you guys can get it.
We do. And
just because it's locked up doesn't mean the stuff is gone.
Exactly. Yeah. It's free for us to figure out if we can get the data. So if we can't get anything, it doesn't cost you anything. So if you don't want to buy a bunch of stuff and things of that sort, bring it to us. We can at least figure it out for you.
Okay, Casey, thanks again for coming by. Good advice. So got your business headlines coming